This is the Darren Harris Podcast. Here's your host, Darren Harris.
Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to the program. I'm your host, Darren Harris. This is the Darren Harris Podcast. How you feeling? How you feeling? How you feeling? Hopefully everybody is doing good. I know we got a lot of perilous things going on in our world right now, but you know, as long as you keep putting one foot in front of the other, you know, I think you have a pretty good chance of making it through. So don't give up is what I'm saying. But today, what I'm going to be talking about, speaking of not giving up, be talking about what's going on in the Middle East and how it's going to affect us here at home and what we can do to kind of, you know, I guess make sure that we are protected and we can see, you know, what's coming down the pipeline, because rest assured there is, you know, I mean, it's looking minuscule right now, but take it from me, as somebody who lived through 9/11, I was present for 9/11. I was in Brooklyn. I was living in Brooklyn for 9/11, so I watched the whole thing happen. I mean, and it was up close and personal. It was live. You know, what I mean, it wasn't like the people in Manhattan, but you know, in Lower Manhattan. But I'm right there. I was right there, right across the bridge, watching it. You know, from where I was standing, right there on J Street, Borough Hall. So, and I want to tell you, you never know. You never know. Everything is normal. Everything is absolutely normal until something terrible happens, you know. So everybody going about their lives the way that they are going, you know, I mean, it does kind of get monotonous, and we there's this blind spot that is created about, you know, our surroundings, and not only just our immediate surroundings, but our surroundings globally and the things that are taking shape. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I mean, I just want to make sure that everybody out there who is suffering, you know, mentally, has someone that they can talk to and release. And if not, there are, and to let you know, while still here, there are people out there and professionals that will help you in your time of need. You know what I mean? If you need to talk to somebody, if you gotta let it out, if you gotta cry, or, you know, you feel like you're gonna do something crazy, you know what I mean? Like, there's some people that can help you alleviate these things before something tragic actually happens. You know what I'm saying? In your personal life. So just make sure that you take care of yourself in these times, because there's going to be a lot of stress and a lot of strain as far as our economy is concerned in you know, the near future, the very near future. And, you know, I mean, there's going to be a lot of, you know, trials and tribulations and gnashing of teeth. And I just want to encourage everybody out there, you know, that if we stay vigilant and we stay diligent, we can make it through all of this. Okay, so I'm gonna take a quick fast break, and when I come back, we're gonna jump into this war a little bit. All right.
This is the Darren Harris Podcast. Here's your host, Darren Harris.
Hey y'all, welcome back. Talk about this war, man. Or I'm not sure if we are at war. I don't really know. I mean, I gotta brush up on this. Maybe I'll have another podcast about what's needed to declare war, because I'm not really sure if we're at war, or is it Israel's war, or are we fighting on behalf of Israel? I mean, I don't know what's happening, but a lot of people are afraid of a lot of things regarding this war. They're afraid that America will be dragged into another endless war. Now, that matters for a couple of reasons. I'm going to tell you why. One of the reasons that it matters for us, because, you know, I mean, we're going to have Americans, you know, fighting another foreign conflict, you know, for, you know, basically some non-Americans. And how is that beneficial for America? And, you know, what does that have to do with putting America first? So there are a lot of people who are, I guess they're kind of not necessarily disappointed, but kind of like got an eye open now, like, hold on, wait a minute, I thought it was about America, but now all of a sudden we've gone over to Argentina, and now we're over here in the Middle East, and what we're doing is we are, you know, actively I'm just going to call it what it is. We're actively destabilizing regions around the world, and the MO has become kind of the same because there's oil in both regions. Like there's oil. Oil has something to do with both regions. About 20% of the world's oil, it passes through the Strait of Hormuz. War with Iran. Even this little skirmish has already made its impact in my life already. And nothing that significant, but significant enough. And if that's what's to come, then I think everybody should be a little concerned. I'm driving and I'm going to get gas, and I go to a particular gas station, like a few gas stations, and I know what their prices are, and it's been relatively low as of late. I'm someplace in Florida, and it's been relatively low as of late. And I can rely on these gas stations for, as soon as they announced the conflict, gas went up to $3.29, $3.30 in certain places, and it was really kind of overnight, like in the span of a day and a half, as soon as this happened. You know what I'm saying? So that's already, been an issue here at home anyway, which is gas prices. And thankfully for a while we've had gas, pretty decent gas prices that are around $3. Sometimes they dip down around $2, and a good day would be like $2.80, which is a decent day where I'm at. And man, it's gotten to the point where now from $2.80 to $3.25, $3.30, that's a pretty significant jump, especially for the people. Now, we don't drive very often, but for the people that drive to and from work, especially, and I imagine about the people who commute to their different destinations, especially in rural parts of the state. That's a lot of driving, and you're driving to and from, and that adds up after a while. And if that's just the tip of the iceberg from this conflict, that is significant. That's something significant to think about as far as, people trying to make their daily budget or their weekly or monthly budget, especially if they have families. So that's one concern. The other concern is that there are things that are happening with the current administration. There's a lot of turmoil. There's a lot of scandal. There's a lot of that is surrounding this particular administration, and it's obvious that this administration and this party, they want to hold their power. They're doing everything humanly possible to hold their power, to keep what power they have. Which as we speak, they're really kind of ramping it up and trying to do as much as they can while they have power, if they can keep their power. Provided that the midterm elections, don't go their way, they want to try to lock in as much of what they can lock in before things start to swing back the other way. So, but the problem is you can't prosecute a sitting president. And a lot of people, or some people, I won't say a lot, are starting to speculate that this person that is he's got the reins right now is doing this in order to keep his control, or keep the control for the party to keep the control. And also, you can't I believe you can't unseat a president while we're at war. So a lot of people believe that he may have deliberately, or maybe deliberately, planning conflict and planning global destabilization in order to keep his position of power, or in order for that party to keep their position of power, which will basically stretch their authority, to limitless power. And it would just, for one, and this is just my feeling, I don't think that would be good for a lot of Americans. A lot of Americans. War definitely with Iran would spike global oil prices all over the world. That means higher gas prices, which I already saw that. And it was just a little bit, just at us going over there and having some, just a little bit of fighting. The fighting we're doing, the gas prices have gone up, and food costs and shipping costs and just general inflation in the United States. And our jobs, last month I think we lost 92,000 jobs, something like that. That's significant, right here in the United States. And we would we would immediately feel it at the gas pump and in grocery stores. We're immediately going to feel it there. And tell me if I'm wrong. Did everybody experience that as soon as this happened? Did everybody have a jump at the gas station? Because I sure as fuck did. Gas jumped right the fuck up there as soon as they said this. Oh shit. You know what I'm saying? Now, will it go back down? Probably fucking not. You know what I'm saying? We gotta have the oil first. You know what I'm saying? We gotta get the oil first, and that's what they're working on down in Venezuela, and that's the thing. Was it necessary for us to go down there and create conflict? It was, if you want to gain access to oil, if you want to gain access to that fuel. You know what I'm saying? That's the fuel. Oil is the fuel that has powered our lives. You know what I'm saying? That oil is one of those substances on the face of the earth that has made a lot of things possible for a lot of people. Oil. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's so valuable. So I don't know. I think us going to war with the Middle East or Iran, everybody is sleeping on Iran, but there are some military consequences. There are some. Now we are, for all intents and purposes, we are the single most powerful country on the face of the earth. But that stature is being questioned, and at this particular time is being challenged. You know what I'm saying? So it's gotten to a point where, it's put up a shut up, United States. So we need to get our feet wet. You know what I'm saying? That's what Iran is. But Iran, they have ballistic missiles. You know what I'm saying? They have proxy militias all across the Middle East. You know what I'm saying? They have huge population, and they have a terrain that makes it really difficult for invasion. Yeah, you can kind of hit them from the air, but there's other tactics. You know what I'm saying? And that's we think that we're the most advanced country in the world, and that's great. But people say never underestimate the power, and I say okay, but don't, you corner a dog and see what happens. Corner any docile dog, corner it, and see what happens. You know what I'm saying? Now, they don't think they're he even said some of our service members are probably going to die, and as of today, I'm not really sure what the death toll, but when I last looked, it was 4 or 5, something like that. And I think 1 is too many. Because I feel like this. We have way too much shit going on here at the house to be worried about what the fuck is going on over there. You know what I'm saying? Because let's not forget, we still got immigration, happening over here, and then, for like it or not, for all intents and purposes, he trying to come for black folks next. The whole administration, they trying to do their thing as far as their whole agenda, and we Latin folks and black folks and people that ain't they particular cup of tea. You know what I'm saying? We are under the microscope. We are on the chopping block. We are on that we are in that position of peril, and we got to figure it out, man. I mean, we really do. We got to figure it out. We got to stop worrying about what the fuck is on television and MTV and all this fucking superficial. What's happening with all these these superficial celebrities? We got to stop that, because real things are happening in the world that will one day directly affect you. They may not be affecting you now, but what the fuck are you gonna do? Because and take it from me, like I said, I experienced 9/11 firsthand. I was there. Now I know a lot of people are can't they were babies or weren't even born then, or I know there's a lot of that exists. But I was there. I was present when that happened. And that's the first foreign attack that we had on our country. It was tragic. It was the most horrific thing I've ever seen with my eyes. And it was hurtful, and it was so frightening. I mean, it was so frightening. What do? You are 100% powerless. You're not prepared. You don't know what the fuck's going on. And next thing I knew, the whole city was shut the fuck down. Everything shut down. I didn't go to work. Nothing. Shut down. It was crazy. They weren't letting people in or out of New York. It was wild business for a while. This was, you know what I'm saying? And nobody, a lot of people don't know what that is like. A lot of people just take what we have for granted. And I am one of those people who do not take that. You know what I'm saying? I don't take it for granted like that. I understand how precious a couple of things are, the freedoms that we have and the life that we live. I understand that. I understand that I am insignificant. You know what I'm saying? It's just me right now. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no army. I don't have a country that I rule, or I'm the overseer of. I don't have none of that. I just got me and my wife and our kids and the family, the little family that we have that we love very much, that we want everybody to be safe. But the more we spiral into these conflicts, these global conflicts, the more that we support these things at home that we think benefit us politically, the more we support this type of destabilization. Look at what happened. You think you voted for, the economy, and you voted for, your children to have, better such and such at school or whatever. But look at where we are from that. Look how high we have jumped from that. From the local issues, the issues that we have locally here at our home. Look how far removed from those local issues we are. We are somewhere, we are in Argentina, we are over in Iraq, we are across the world, and our focus is not on our country. Our focus is on the destabilization and the maintenance of our interests abroad. We are insignificant. And we have to come to grips with that. We have to understand that. Because if we don't, things are just going to get worse. Things are going to get worse. There's some people, it's so fucking funny to me, because there's some people out here that honestly think that everything is fine. That honestly think that everything is A-okay. You know what I'm saying? Everything's good. And there's there's some of these people are the same people that'll stand up and they'll fight, and I'm going to fight for this president until I die. Yeah. Because they're not enlisted. You know what I'm saying? They're not enlisted in this the real threat of them, their life being put into peril has not hit them. It doesn't hit them, because here the fuck they are riding around in their fucking golf carts and on their boats on Saturday out in the fucking Gulf, or wherever they are, or they're fucking at the fucking racetrack, or wherever they fucking are, spewing the patriotism garbage. You know what I'm saying? Wait till something significant hits your community, because one hit mine. I'm going to take a break. I'll be right back.
Now, back to the Darren Harris Podcast. Here's your host, Darren Harris.
Welcome back, y'all. So, there are some groups that are connected to Iran. some groups. People call them terrorist groups or whatever you want to call them. And I look at it like this now, man. I look at a lot of things like this now. It is all in how things are framed. It is all in how things are framed. It is all in how things are presented to us. It is all how we are being fed this information. We have to understand that. We got to understand that and a lot of times throughout history, we can't assume that we were always the good guys, but we are always portrayed as the good guys. And we have always portrayed whoever our opposition is as the bad guys. And rightfully so. It's good guys versus bad guys, right? But is it? We have to understand. We have to weigh out actual humanity, actual consequences, actual things that have been done. Oh, these people did this to these people. Well, what the fuck did these people do to these people to make these people do this to them? That's what we never take that into consideration because we never get that part of the story. We never get that. Our media outlets, it's like they jump in, oh, well, such and such and such, and these people it's the way that these people have been framed and their positions. In direct opposition to some of the things now, and not for nothing, make no mistake about it. Our intervention, especially in foreign things, isn't always fucking on the up and up. We're not as clean as we'd like to believe that we are. But people will stand up behind this. I don't even know what to call it, and just stand up and think that we have never been at fault for anything, that everything that we've done is right and just. Everything that we've done to every country that we've had conflict with was right and just. And sometimes that's just not true. And it's hard for these people to get over that. It's hard for these people to internalize that. And when you confront them with that, they get hostile and now they want to be these fucking, oh no, God damn it, you want to go outside, motherfucker. and it's unfortunate. I mean, it really is. It really is. And we have to live through that. We have to live through the deliberate ignorance and of someone who does not want to see clearly about what's happening in our world, in our communities, as a result of these things. We have to learn how to fucking, we got to be, I'm getting off on a tangent, but I wanted to say that there are some groups that are connected to Iran. These groups include Hezbollah and Hamas, and then there are various militias in Iraq and in Syria. Okay, and that means if we go to a full-blown war, and this is already happening, by the way, but if we go to a full-blown war with Iran, this means that war could quickly become regional, even global, dragging in like many countries. They've already launched some shit at Turkey that got intercepted. They warm with some other people are just starting to fucking fuck with each other now, and it's starting to, the region itself is destabilizing. We have set about the destabilization of an entire region. Why? We just think it's all right. Oh, we're helping Israel. I mean, there's lots of human consequences to this, real human consequences to this. I mean, recent wars such as the Iraq War and like the war in Afghanistan, that cost us fucking trillions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? Trillions of dollars. And thousands of American lives while destabilizing an entire fucking region. I mean, really. And a lot of us are still in this are we stuck? Are we going to be in this forever war, this endless war with these people? I mean, why? Why are we over there fucking around with Iran? Well, that's simple. That's because of Israel. We got to protect Israel. We have to protect Israel. Israel has a lot of fucking weapons. Israel has a lot of fucking weapons. Well, they got a lot of people in the region that doesn't like them. Well, they're over there bombing the shit out of people that have a lot less than they do. I mean, it's kind of, to me, it kind of just seems like they're bringing it upon themselves. I mean, that's just me, man. I'm not trying to be confrontational or, controversial even. I'm not trying to be any of that. But to me, it seems like a lot of what the fuck is going over there, they are inflicting upon themselves because they want more than then in my opinion, they just want these people to not be there so they can have the whole thing. They just want these people to not be there. They just want Palestine and everything that is not them to not be there. It's that simple, man. I mean, for real. How do you have like all this military power? All this military power you have. And not only that, how do you have all this military power and the backing from the United States and then still standing up there claiming yourselves as being victims of shit? Why you create actual victims? Why you bomb people out of it? You're trying to bomb people out of existence. But we don't get shown that. We don't get shown the inhumane part of that. All we get shown, and everything that gets framed here is just how much turmoil and how much risk from the outside invaders that Israel gets. You know, and not that I want to put this out there. Not that I'm in support of what the Iranian dictator did or whatever, because he was a solid douchebag himself. I mean, solid douchebag. I mean, super douchebag. I mean, like, but I mean, as far as I'm concerned, if you say we putting America first, then your first fucking job needs to be to get at what's going on at home settled first before you do anything any place else. That is my criteria. And I'm telling you, I'm running for office. If it were me, and I'm not saying that I am or ever would, or this would even make any sense. But me, if I was running for office, if it was me, Darren Harris, running for office, and I said, oh yeah, okay, I'm gonna work on America first. The first fucking thing I did. We would be working out. I would, hey y'all, you know what? I'm sorry. We just gonna have to bail out of a lot of things for a couple minutes to work on our thing. I'm still gonna be a part of the vital things that keep the world running. I'll still have representatives at the committees, but we getting ready to do a lot of things. And like we gonna withdraw our troops from over here for a few minutes. Because we need to we need to take accountability of some shit. For one. We need to take accountability of a lot of shit, for one. And for two, we need to get a lot of shit straight. We need to get a lot of shit straight. There's going to be some pink slips. A lot of motherfuckers getting fired from here. You know what I'm saying? We need to rewrite the policy and procedure manual. That's what we need to do here. That's exactly what we need to do. And it doesn't need to be what they're trying to rewrite it into. It needs to include everybody who is here. Everybody who is here. And I'm going to tell you what, and this is how I feel, and I don't give a fuck what these patriots got to say about it. I think everybody who is here has a right to fucking be here. That's right. That's right. I fucking said it. Everybody who is here, especially if the forefathers could steal motherfuckers from someplace else and bring them here. Everybody who come, and then not only that, if the forefathers and all these colonials, these colonists could come over here and fucking rape and pillage and murder and fucking get rid of all the people that was here. If they could war with the place that was down south of us, I think everybody who is here has a right to fucking be here. Okay? And that's how the fuck I feel about it. You know what I'm saying? So all this gotta deport these, that shit is bullshit. It's nonsense. It's bullshit. And I don't think that it's something that God or Jesus or anybody, these people who they claim to fucking follow, I don't think it's anything that he would support. I don't think anything that these people are doing, either side, our side and their side, either God, either if it was God and Allah, and I know they just sitting up there going, look at these idiot motherfuckers, look at them. I didn't say none of this shit, and look at them down there running amok. You know what I'm saying? I've said this before. I cannot wait until either aliens come to this motherfucker or a real asteroid is rocketing right at this bitch. We're all, oh shit, there's no, we can't, we tried the calculations a couple of times and nope, we've calculated that it's going to hit us. I can't wait till that happens because then I want to see what everybody prioritizes. What is your priority? Is it your fucking bank account? Huh? The aliens don't give a fuck about your fucking money. White people have such a problem with black people and other fucking races. What they gonna do with green motherfuckers or a fucking lizard race? I really want to see. Yes, of course, we will probably all end up enslaved as a fucking species. As a species. And I, for one, am here for it. I would love to see all these self-righteous motherfuckers. And I'll be out there too with you because, I don't get spared. You know what I mean? We don't get spared either. But I really would. I really would like to see the rest of these motherfuckers out there with the rest of us, realizing and understanding that you are not special. You're not a special person. Your position doesn't make you any better than me. I don't give a fuck what you think. And I really do think that. And I'm really sick and tired. I've been sick and tired. And I know people are tired of hearing me saying that I'm sick and tired. But I am sick and tired of all of these people, of all of these fake people out here proclaiming that they are doing the best they can for the people that they represent, while we all sit here and constantly bicker and suffer. Because tell me, how much better has it gotten under any of them? Under any president, because we're all still bickering and fucking fighting. We're all still fucking throwing our phones and shit at the fucking TV. We're all still walking around calling each other niggers and crackers. We're all walking around wanting fucking gay people to burn in hell. We're all still just as hateful as ever. Look at us. Who is responsible for this? Who is responsible for this? Because I'm angry about it. I'm angry about it because all of us we're sheep, just being controlled. We're just being controlled by what we watch and consume on TV, what we watch and consume on social media, and who we think we identify the most with. And all they do is fucking they pander to us, they stroke our fucking egos, they tell us everything's gonna be all right while they open our asshole as wide as they can open it and blow the most smoke up that bitch that they can blow. And it's horrible. And it's embarrassing. And it's becoming dangerous. While you get in your car and take your ass to work every day, while you get in there and you start your ignition, your world around you is becoming more dangerous. More dangerous. And you voted to lower grocery prices. That's what you voted for, right? You voted for the grocery prices. And not that I'm, in any support of the Democratic Party either, because they're fucking wet lettuce also, because what the fuck are they really doing except for standing on the fucking sidelines just watching us, all of us, go down with the fucking ship? What are they doing? Really, what are they doing? Down in Texas, they elected James Talrico. Okay, cool, whatever. He's going to be the one that's going to hold the other white men accountable for the shit that white men do. Right? You know what I'm saying? Afraid to put that power, give that power to a black woman who had no problem calling it exactly what it is. They didn't want her. She was too loud, too brash, too boisterous. And that is not what we want here. That's exactly what we need, though. That's exactly what we need. Her fire, her whole fucking attack is what everybody, that is how we fight this shit back. She was vocal about it. We all need, if we are, and especially if we care. And this is how we do it. Now I'm going to say this and I'm going to go. We all need to become Jasmine Crockett. Everybody needs some Jasmine Crockett in us. You know, we all need to have her fight and her dedication. You know what I mean, people say, oh, she's got, you know, these. Yeah, everybody does. Everybody does. None of these motherfuckers are perfect, okay? None of these motherfuckers are perfect. But one thing she does is she calls motherfuckers out. But she also makes sure that she has all of her ducks in a row. All of her ducks in a row. And she's not afraid to call it out. And that's what we need to be. That's who we need. That's who we need to be. We have to be like her, not afraid to call out at the top of our lungs and not let it pass. We have to start to give a fuck. We got to start to give a fuck. That's the only way we get by this. All right? So I think that's going to do it for this week's episode of the Darren Harris Podcast, y'all. You listen, ask yourself, man. Ask yourself, man, are you prepared? Are you prepared for what could happen here as you watch all these red, white, and blue flags? Are you prepared? Are you confident that this red, white, and blue flag can protect this? You know, I got no idea that we can go in there and blow shit up. Not no idea, but I got no problems with believing that we can go out there and blow shit up. Got no problems with that. But I don't think that that's protection. I don't think they care about protecting us. I think they just care about protecting themselves. So, all right, folks. I want to thank you guys for checking my podcast out and listening, you know what I mean, and trying to listen. And, you know, if you've made it this far, I commend you. Thank you. But I want to thank my parents for giving me the mindset and the heart and the mouthpiece to go out and talk the way that I do. I want to thank my wife for being my absolute biggest fan. I love you so much, baby. I want to thank my best friend and producer, Jesse Yandel, for being absolutely great producer, man. If you guys having a podcast, you need a podcast, contact me. Get at me, man. I'll put you in touch with my man, Jay. And I want to thank Gentry Thomas for the platform here at the Podcast Playground and all the rest of the platforms that host my podcast. I want to shout you out and give you a big thank you. And last but not least, and first and last, I want to thank you guys again, man, for tuning into the Darren Harris Podcast. It really does. It makes a difference, and it definitely helps me grow. It gives me more confidence, and I really couldn't do it without you. So until next week, man, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful week, and keep your head up, man, and go out and try to get yourselves prepared. You know what I mean? Do a little bit of research. It don't hurt nobody. All right? I'll talk to you next week. Peace.
You've been listening to the Darren Harris Podcast. Subscribe to the show, give a good rating, and everything you need to know is at DarrenHarris.com.